So our next session is all about identifying the X factor. So you're about to hear from one of the world's top investors and take a deep dive into his thoughts on the things that he considers, the things that excites him, and shapes his decision-making process when it comes to funding ideas. So we're going to have a bit of fun with this as well and talk about some of the best and worst pitches he's heard in the last year. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage Sanjay Nayar, General Partner for Sorin Investments.
Guys, this is...
Hi. Take a seat. You're front and center.
I want to stand.
Oh, you want to stand? All right, I'll stand with you.
But this is very unfortunate that I've been put up here among all these youngsters. And you know, the kind of session you had, I think I got to take you guys back to some old days. This is too new.
Oh,
But
be quiet. You're doing
No,
this.
no, so
It's
what
all
do you want me to
good.
do?
Okay, so got a couple of questions for you. So, in a recent interview, Ray Dalio, one of the world's leading investors and founders of Bridgewater, he talked about how, you know, investing landscape is changing. He cited a recent shift in the stock market and economy and focused heavily on interest rates. And Sanjay, like Ray, you're a highly respected investor, very respected investor. You've got a stellar track record in raising record amounts of investments.
Tell me which shark I got to tank. Tell me that. Where are the sharks?
Oh, that's the next bit. This bit's all about you.
No, it's not about me.
It is about you.
Right,
Okay, well, I'll just go straight in with a question. You've obviously heard a few pitches in your time. I want to know what is the best and worst pitch that you've heard.
Look,
So you start with the juicy
I'm
one,
in
the
the-
worst.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm in this venture world just recently, but I must tell you, first the context is India, okay? I'm not from this part of the world. So you might find, you know, my pitches, good and bad, not as innovative and interesting what you heard. But I think among the worst pitches, I would say, I was just thinking just now when I was going to the loo. You know, we came across a company, I think just 3 months ago, where very, very good, smart entrepreneurs, usual IIT, IIMs, chucked up a career. And he was leveraging basically payment technology, you know, the whole Paytm thing we have, the UPI. And he figured out that there is a real problem in terms of farmers. You know, farmers in India, if you take any, the whole cattle ownership, normally one farmer has 4 cows. And then they milk the cow, and then he walks 10 kilometers to the nearest dairy where they have the kind of refrigerator. Then he dumps the milk there, and then from there it goes into society, which is the next level, and where they pasteurize the milk, and then of course it moves to Amul, right? So there's a long chain. So very impressive pitch as to how he was going to solve the problem of working capital for the farmer, the mobility of not carrying this, 10 liters of milk with his 2 kids and, 1 donkey at the back, and walk for 10 kilometers, and then he would come back the next day and then milk again if the cow was ready, and then, so we were very impressed with all of this. And then he began to introduce the concept of giving general insurance in case the milk fell or, whatever happened, right? And then he got to the concept of giving working capital, which a 10-liter milk is about, let's say, 1,000 rupees to this farmer. So still okay. And then the farmer would get the advance capital because, he didn't have to wait for the society to pay him. He would give them an advance payment, so a bit of working capital. So instead of 1,000 rupees, he would get 1,100, so he got a nice interest rate. All this worked well. So I asked him, okay, at the end of this one year, what's your first year financials like? So it was 6 lakh rupees, by the way. So 6 lakh rupees, how much? 6,000 pounds? 6,000 pounds. So I said, look, this business is not going to get scaled up. So what do you intend doing? He said, today I've got 10,000 farmers. It's not easy. 10,000 farmers in the state of Gujarat. I'm now going to monetize this model. So I said, how are you going to monetize it? So I'm going to give a secured loan to the farmer. I said, but secure loan to the farmer? What are you going to do? I'm going to secure the cow. But hang on. And it doesn't end there. Lord, it doesn't end there. So I said, okay, you secure the cow. I mean, you secure the house, I can understand, through a lab product. He said, no, they just got a small cottage, right, or a hut. I'm going to secure the cow. And with the help of ICICI approval, I hope there's no ICICI guy here. I've also got a fully integrated system of the photos of the rudder veins and the teeth and the milk veins. So the cow has rudders, and I've got that, and they're unique, by the way. So every cow has unique rudder veins and unique, like teeth, like all of us have teeth, right? He's saying all the photographs are done, a fully integrated system. So that's when I had to politely tell him that, listen, I think it's time to have coffee and go, because because the reason is that in the state of Gujarat, doing a sample test on cow and securing with the cow, I think is a bit of a challenge.
How do you, keep a straight face when you're in
that I've
these
learned
instances?
in my 40 years of working. I know how to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
I think among the better ones, by the way, we let this deal go. The second deal, I think, is a better pitch, and we let it go as well and see where it went. This is a company, I won't give you the name, somebody may be funding them. So they are basically getting into new brands in India. As you know, India is getting a lot of brands, and unless you're a Reliance or a big one like Amazon, you don't put up your own stores. You go to a contractor, want to put up a 250 square foot store, a 500 square foot store. So this guy has got project management, vendor management, design, architecture, delivery, and full project management, all through a system. And of course, he's got about 200 people. I just felt that he was a very asset-heavy business where he's got architects on his balance sheet, he's got project managers on the balance sheet, people who, refresh the store, they create the store. There is a real problem in India, by the way. Trying to create a store in India on a high street or in a mall takes you anywhere between 12 to 14 weeks once you have the space. And you got to coordinate with like 12 different stakeholders, the electrician, the guy with the water supply, the guy who makes the loo, the guy who makes all the gondolas for your cosmetics or whatever. So I think he had cracked the model, but we were just not convinced. And he then told us that he was going to spin the same technology out, and he was going to make the technology available to the contractors so that they could also do it. So it became like a SaaS product. Anyway, we let that deal go. And today he's got 1,000 stores, 70 brands, 230 customers, and he might even get Reliance, which is a big thing. And so the guy is probably now, I think, at about a 200 million valuation. So it just tells you so I think the takeaway really is real world solutions to some real world problems. So we come from the old world, and my only takeaway that I've learned is unless there is a real world solution being done to a real world problem, otherwise a lot of these pitches like this, lending against cow, frankly, that's not what the farmer needed actually. He just needed the mobility, the insurance, and he wanted quicker payment and not wait for Amul to pay him. But he took it into a different level, and I think that's where it all fell. Anyway, thank you.
By the sounds of it, yeah. Okay, before you go, just got a few quick fire questions, nothing to do with what we were talking about, but just having a bit of fun. So, food you can't live without.
Sorry?
Food you cannot live without.
Khichdi.
The last book you read, if you still read books, or do you read them on the last book you read?
I haven't read a book for a long time.
Ooh, last podcast you listened to? No, okay. London or Mumbai?
London.
Gin or whiskey?
Gin.
Get off. It's got to be the old whiskey. No, not really. Thank you, Sanjay. That was brilliant. If you could just hand the mic. Thank you.